maybe I need to highlight this. Menu na kwa bana braai menu. Aga no betele matsogo menu. Braai menu wa bana. Akere thomile ka la ke ba wa bolela ka a spiritual part of monna gore o ska bona ile phosho gore go le mona o direng o rapela. Nna ke ithutile gore ha se phosho re ke le mona ebile go swane ke gore ke le mona ke direng ke rapela. Then ke kwele the deputy chair a bolela ntho mo a re ga o le monna o ska fila ka moghomo go nya ka thuso gore o ska bona ile phosho gore o gopela thuso ga swantse gore yo consulta o ska re go le monna o khumana o ka re wa tenyatša. All right, dilo ba ke introducer speaker sa bobedi ke kwele banna ba re bana dipotšišo ke gopela gore di ngwaleng fase re tlotla nako ya dipotšišo. Dr. Lebogang Selahle yena ka ke mo tlhalosa ka tsela e, she is the chief executive officer of Beatitude Psychology Center ka mangwala o tshwere PhD ka montso mo go re keng ke ngaka ke le ka gore gape ke bolele ka Sotho gore re tshwara taba tše ka botse ga botse. She was the principal clinical psychologist for Greater Sekhukhune District and Lepelle Nkumpi Municipality and Tabamopo Hospital under Department of Health Limpopo Province from November the year 2000 to June 2008 when she took a bold step of going full-time in private practice. Come on, Dr. Selahle, bana le mo ba shumelang gona go private practice ya bona. She has been in private practice for 23 years. Come on, someone. 23 years. She's a renowned expert in psychological assessment related to road accident fund, medical negligence, and civil matters. She is a servant to the nation. I can witness that. She served as member of Mental Health Review Board for Capricorn District for several years. She also served as a member of Limpopo Childline for 3 years. She is currently serving as a member of ThyRest, an organization aimed to assist women who want to resign from prostitution. That is it. Come on, Choma Weriki Bulele. Ubereka mo organization yaba sadi ba o banyaka go tlogela go gweba ka mmele. She is also involved in educating the young upcoming psychologists. She was a part-time lecturer at the University of Venda. Currently, she is supervising master students in clinical psychology at the University of Limpopo. She is a phenomenal woman who expressed her bravery in graceful way. A keynote speaker with 20 years experience of educating the nation through various platforms, including radio stations and writing comments in newspapers. She is a revolutionary thinker and entrepreneur and multi-skilled. Her YouTube channel, that is the name, Beatitude Psychology Center, centered on empowering mind, soul, and body of the nation worldwide. Kasala yawe rebaile go re emella ka moka magama aba ara amogelela our doctor Lebogang Sela, a psychologist. Are emelleng ka moka ga re
What a beautiful afternoon. Greetings from Beatitude Psychology Center. I am saying greetings from Beatitude Psychology Center. I'm not Beatitude Psychology Center, and I can't be Beatitude Psychology Center without my team. Can they come there so that you see who is Beatitude Group? Amen. They're not all of them. The ones with the black, I don't know why they're sitting there, because I called Beatitude Group. At Beatitude, we have those in the Psychology Center, we have those in the media, Beatitude YouTube channel, and very soon we'll be having our TV channel. We have Mr. Mello responsible for our TV channel. We have Mr. Karabo Gama responsible for our YouTube, and Roshu. They want to see the manager of the YouTube channel. Can you face them?
Yes. Oh, this one.
Okay. They call them in the front. We have Mr. Mello responsible for our YouTube TV channel that is upcoming. We believe God for it before the end of this year. Then Mr. Karabo Gama, responsible for our YouTube channel, together with Roshidu Faja. And this 1, 2, they are in the psychology center. And the ones with the green t-shirt, we have a school by the name of Pretty Badgers, School for Kids. They are the teachers at our school. And because we deal with the body, the mind, and the soul, we have Omoika under Beatitude. Omoika means continuous overflowing blessings, studio, beauty studio. So men should come and look beautiful. I hear men talking about bedroom stuff here, but it's nice when you touch a man and it goes smooth, not with the beards that are very rough. So men should come and look beautiful, and after you shave, there is those ugly things. So they're responsible to do that. And my girls are very disciplined. Some men will ask them, if we come for massage, do we get that? We don't do that. We give you only massage. Thank you very much. The time right now is 23 minutes to 2. But I believe we decided to leave everything to be here so that we can empower each other. When Coach Mo asked me to come, there are 2 reasons I agreed to come and speak to men. One of the reasons is because I advocate for boy child. Yes, I agree with our authority figures that women should be empowered. But as a mother, I'm a mother of 2 biological sons. So women, we are the ones who give birth to our sons. So if we empower the girls and we leave the boys, we are not solving any problem. We are creating more problem. Hence, I advocate for boys. And I said to him, I will come because I also have an event for boys in the coming September this year, where I want them. I hear that Muleji boys are just from the mountain, from the men. But I say, bring your son to me. I want to turn him into a real man. And the second reason I agreed is because I believe in empowering people. I believe if we empower one another, we'll have a better nation. And he didn't give me a topic. Then I said to him, let us talk about the ego of a man. Ego means pride. Every man has a pride. Let's talk about this pride so that we will understand this man. And we will understand how to raise our sons to be better men compared to maybe who you are. You know, when a man enters into a marriage, I had other speakers touching on the issue of marriage. Nobody enter into a marriage looking forward to divorce. We enter into a marriage knowing very well that it's a long-term investment. We invest everything that we can. We invest ourselves. We invest financially. We invest in so many ways. And we don't want to wake up and that investment is gone. But there is a challenge in every marriage. And one of the challenges is infidelity, cheating. And not all marriages are able to survive infidelity. Some marriages, when there is cheating, they die. Some, they survive. And when a man have an affair. Some, they have an affair not because they intend to leave their marriage, but it is a situation of running away from a problem.
Okay.
An affair is a kind of an exit. Exit is a door that you use only at that period. You don't use exit every day in your house, at your workplace. Is written exit. Then you exit when there is a need to exit. So in some men, an affair is an exit. In some men, an affair happens because they are socialized like that. According to their culture, it's acceptable. And in some men, affair is there because it's their religion. So I believe when we talk today, as we empower each other, each man will look at himself from his framework. I don't want to pull everybody into Christianity because isn't it, as a South African, we say we expect every religion? So every man should look at himself from his religion, your framework. If your framework is Christianity, and once you go outside the frame, imagine yourself making a brick and you go outside. It won't look nice. It will be, if you want to bring out a quantum brick, it will never be a quantum because it's outside the frame. So look at yourself from your framework. If you are a cultural African, look at yourself from there. Some people say, I'm a Christian and African at the same time, meaning they believe in ancestors and they believe in God. So some men have an affair because they see another woman as an opportunity to escape from reality. Like I said, there is a problem. And when a marriage dies, men tend not to process their emotions. Men are socialized not to go into their emotions, but to go into their thinking. And as long as you don't process your emotions, you're gonna have a problem in the future. Hence, we have men who are suffering from diabetes. I believe Dr. Sinomadi will attest when he comes to say 80% of physical sicknesses that we suffer, they are not physical, they're psychological. Diabetic is not always physical. Most of the time, it's psychological. Hypertension, cancer, and the likes. Because men don't process their emotions. I think my laptop has been here for some time. Can I ask for my charger there? So we're gonna look at that so that we understand why Makazi will dance and say, Guna Shugela. We dance about it, we laugh about it, but it's not something that we should dance about. It's something that we should look for answers. Guna Shugela, and then what? Divorce. Because diabetic is there. Now, what they've been saying about satisfying your wife is not happening. There's diabetic, there's hypertension. And sometimes we put ourselves as men in these challenges because when we want to get married, we marry for wrong reasons. Some men marry for wrong reasons. And as long as you are married for wrong reasons, you will never be happy. People marry because they want to look complete and happy. According to your society, at a certain age, you should be married. If you are not married, then you are not complete. They put pressure on you, or you put yourself under pressure to be married, so that they should see or perceive you as a real man. Know that happiness comes from inside, not from anyone else. Once your happiness comes from what the society says, you're gonna have a problem. We marry because we want to prove a point. We want to show that we are smart, we are prosperous, and we are making it, or we have made it in life. Or we want to prove to our friends that no, we have been dating, we are a good couple. That is a bad reason to get married. And these days, many men marry women because they are ATMs. You marry our daughters because they are well-to-do, not because you love them. You marry them because they are well-educated. You marry them because they are well-off. And that is a wrong reason to be married. And many marry her so that she can give them children. Is she a machine to make children? Those who are Christian will agree that children are a gift from God. It's a gift. It's not about how you perform in the bedroom. Hence, some children are born from a rape. Where there was force, people were fighting. The woman is fighting, the man is forcing himself on the woman, but a child can be born from that. Marriage is not about giving each other children. Whether there are children or there are no children, a marriage can be sustained. Marriage is about two people sharing life together for the rest of their lives. If children come, it's a bonus. If children are not there, we don't go to blame each other. Because the challenge with men, when there are no children, you run into an affair. Even your family, they encourage you to get another wife or to go and test yourself outside. And they will lie to you. Do you know what girls do these days? They go and buy the pregnancy test from the nurses. Everywhere. For those who are not speaking English, I don't know how to put it, but people who are working, the nurses, when women go and test positive, they keep those things. Then this woman go and buy it and show you that I'm pregnant, when they are not. They tell you it's your child when it's not your child. We know that African men don't want to go and be tested if they are fertile or infertile. If there is no a baby, you blame the wife. And you don't go to check yourself. If they invite you, you always have reasons not to go. And you blame the poor woman. Hence, some women, after they've been divorced, because there was a claim that they are infertile, and they go to be married to another man, they conceive within the first year, within the first 6 months, which prove that the problem is not with them, the problem is with you. So children or no children, marriage should stand. Another bad reason for marrying is being under pressure, that your peers are already married, they have children, they're doing this and this. Whose life are you living? Are you living your friend's life or are you living your own life? Live your own life, run your own race, walk your own journey. Don't compare yourself with others. And the other thing that we should look into as we're talking about the ego, the pride of a man in a marriage, is date and marry within your territory, within your status quo. You will have peace. The Christians will know that the Bible says the Jews should not marry outside. In the Old Testament, they were told not to marry outside, but to marry within. It still applies even today. Marry within your own territory and status quo. Because if you marry a woman who is more empowered than you, it's going to be a problem. Be honest to yourself and marry someone. You reason the same, you speak the same language, but the moment she's above you is a problem. In a case where the wife is smarter than the husband, her intelligence, the thing that attracted you to her, it becomes a turn off. When she speaks, you start to say, don't be the advocate in my house. Don't come here and be the psychologist. Don't come here and be the lawyer. Don't come here and be the teacher. The same thing that attracted you now is a problem because you married outside your status quo. You married outside your territory. Be honest to yourself. That well-paying job, it becomes a threat because now your wife associates and dine with wealthy and well-learned men. When you are with them, you can engage in the conversation with them. So marry someone that together you can develop yourself together. When your wife develop herself, develop yourself, man. If she goes and register at UNISA, register something. Otherwise, she's getting empowered. And very soon, she's a problem. The challenge with women is that they marry you believing that they can change you. They can make your life better. Then they marry you, they go to the shop, they buy you a certain type of clothes. Then now they start to teach you how to eat with a fork and knife. Then now they start to teach you how to present yourself before people. No man ego will allow that. It's going to be a problem because you married outside your territory. And now we call you names, we call you abusers. And the truth is, yes, some men are abusers. And why men become abusers? Most men learned to be aggressive. Most of us, we grew up in families where there is aggression. Let us look at ourselves as South Africans. Look at the rate of violence in family. GBV, domestic violence. Look at the rate that people kill each other. Look at how women are killed. Children are raped. What kind of a nation are we producing? And that is why I say I advocate for men. Because if men are not empowered, this will never stop. But instead, it will get worse and worse. So now, we learn from the family. The first learning takes place in our own homes. The way your son sees you treating his mother is how he's going to treat his wife. The way you treat your daughter, that is the kind of a man your daughter is going to look for. If you are a provider, if you speak nice to her, if she do her hair and you notice that and you comment about it, she will look for a husband who will always affirm her. If you are an unavailable father, long distance relationship will suit her because the father was never there. We marry our spouses to replace our parents. Yesterday, as I was polishing my speech, and one of my daughters was seated with me, and we were watching Umzansi. There was a movie playing, and I said to her, this is what I will be speaking about tomorrow. This guy is a hobo. And he says to this boy who picked a child by the street, I don't want the cry of a child, because for me to be a hobo, I ran away from my father, who was abusive to my mother every day. And the same father happened to kill my younger brother, who was a little baby like the one you are carrying. When he wanted to hit my mother, whatever that he was using mistakenly went to my brother and he died. And he said, I ran out of home and I became a hobo. So we learn violence from where we come from. The way you address your wife, your children are watching. The way you communicate, they are watching. If you beat your wife, because these days in South Africa, we know that if you are physically violent with your wife, there is a chance to be arrested. You are very wise, man. You know how to beat us. Silence, isn't it? They see it, they feel it, and that's what they're going to do. They learn to avoid engaging in communication. Those who are from Hasikukune, they will tell you that if you don't want your wife anymore, you don't say I divorce you. Wamunyacha. You just put her aside, you don't go into her house, you don't say anything to her, but you don't divorce her. They see that distance between the two of you. If you sleep upstairs, she sleep down, or vice versa. They are watching, and that is violence in the family. And they learn it, and that's what they're going to do. So when children witness parent marital aggression, they do the same. Most of you here are around 50s and 60s. You grew up under corporal punishment. You are late at school, you get punished. You miss to collect all the kettles, you get punished. Anything that you don't get right, you get punished. Are you not doing the same to your children? You become aggressive. You become tough to them. Because you never received love. You cannot give what you don't have. If you were never loved, what is it that you give? You don't have love in you. You don't know how to love. You don't know how to show love. You will give what they gave to you. Harsh treatment. So our children learn to be romantic when they see us being romantic. And children who are exposed to parental aggression, they find it to be normal in a romantic relationship. For them to say this relationship is going well is when there is violence. And the Zulu girls will say, "Wami uyangishaya, kusho ukuthi uyangithanda." When he beats me, it means he loves me, because they learned that from where they come from. So when children grow up in a family of a history of physical abuse, they develop, psychologically, they develop what is called antisocial personality disorder. Antisocial personality disorder is our sons who are in prison now as we speak, because they killed, because they robbed the bank, because they raped. So they come from family where there is physical abuse, most of them. And when children grow up in a family of emotional abuse can be silence, as I said, or your wife finds you with another woman and you go like, "Hi man, you didn't see well." Me? No. Or she said, somebody was saying, "I don't know what my wife wants in my phone." She found the messages and you go like, "No, My phone, you can check them. Check my phone, there's nothing. That is emotional abuse. And now there's a distance between you. That creates men who are called narcissistic. And when there is a neglect during childhood, neglect how? Where I come from, our neighbors, the couple decided to leave their children and go and never come back. There were about, how many are they? 6 children. And the youngest was even less than 2 years old. So the first girl at the age of 10, she had to sleep with men so that she feed the youngest. Or maybe you just neglect your children, you are a drunkard, or you live your life, you don't care how it's happening. That creates either paranoid personality disorder or schizoid personality disorder. Paranoid is somebody who doesn't trust anybody. It doesn't matter how trustworthy you are, they will never trust you. And schizoid is these people who cannot relate with anyone, whether you are a female or a male, they want themselves. One lady was saying to me, one thing that I'm sure of, my husband doesn't cheat. But I find it difficult because this man, when he comes back from work, is an engineer. He go and sit on his laptop until I'm fast asleep. We can mate once or twice in a month and we are very young. I expect that we should be sexually active. He's just not there. And then, what is wrong? He can't relate with people. If there are meetings at school, he cannot go. The wife must go. If there are events in the families, he doesn't go. He just wants himself alone. So when children grow up in families where there is aggression and violence, they become to feel inferior, or they have low self-esteem, and they lack stability in their lives. So let's look at what causes this low self-esteem and instability. It could be because we have 3 brains, which play an important role, especially when we are still raising our kids. We have the conscious mind, is the mind that we are using currently as we are engaging. Then we have the unconscious mind. We cannot see it, we cannot touch it, but it's real. Then we have the subconscious mind. When you open the head of an animal, on the bigger brain there is a part that looks small attached to the bigger part. That is the subconscious. It looks so small, but it's the one that is the most important brain, because it started while we were still in our mother's womb. It developed there. So this low self-esteem, it could be because of the unconscious sense of inadequacy versus consciously feeling superior. At the back of your mind, you are not, you know that you have low self-esteem. You don't believe in yourself. You compare yourself with many other men. You think they're doing better than you. But consciously, you try to give us a face like, I believe in myself. Do we see what I'm trying to say? Even what you give to the community, to your neighbors, you become like, I believe in myself, but you do it in an aggressive manner. That shows that at the back of your mind, you know who you are, you don't believe in who you are, Hence now you show it in a form of aggression. And there is also the unspoken low self-esteem. You don't talk about it. Even your wife, you don't open to her to say, you know, I doubt myself when it comes to 1, 2, 3. And then to ask her, how do you find me in this area? So your self-esteem on the physical world, you put it like, no, I believe in who I am, I have confidence, but you are not. There's a lot of negative beliefs about yourself. I'm not good in bed, I'm not a good provider, I don't drive big, I'm this and this. Because men think to win the heart of a woman is to buy her a 2 million car that they said is outside. Women don't need that. We don't need that. We need you.
Say it again, doctor.
We don't need those big cars.
Yes.
We need you. If you are available, whether you bring home 5,000 and there's communication, we can make it in life. But if you give me a checkbook and you are not there, what do I do with your checkbook? I don't need your checkbook. I need you. Are you available? So when a man is not feeling good about himself, when a man doesn't believe in who he is, he tends to be aggressive against those who love him. And the people who will suffer are the people who share the roof with you. So let us look deeper into this aggression and violence in the marriage. So a man with low self-esteem or inferiority feeling tend to use violence as a means to protect themselves from shame. And often you shame yourself because you compare yourself with the man next door that he's able to do 1, 2, 3 and I can't do it. You shame yourself. Or you were shamed when you were still young. They told you, what is a this one with the ugly nose, this one, you cannot make it in life. You are this and this, you are stupid. And we believe them. I spoke about the negative beliefs that we have. Once you receive them and you believe what it was said about you, Muruti, as the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so he is. What you believe about yourself, you become it. So men use aggression to protect themselves because they feel shame, because they know that they have low self-esteem. They look at themselves and they don't believe in themselves, so they have low self-image. So they use aggression as a way trying to restore their sense of ego or pride. If I'm a violent man, the whole location will know that that one, he will beat you up. That one doesn't take it. So that's how people know you. My wife knows that I don't take nonsense. When I speak, she must shut up. So now you are using violence, you are using aggression, trying to boost your self-esteem. And some men, from what we learned and how we are socialized, from our religion, from our framework, some men use aggression as the intention to hurt the partner. You do it purposely because you saw it being fit in a romantic relationship. And you believe when you are violent, you are able to gain advantage on your spouse without being physical. You just use your voice, you just use your physical gestures. They know what you mean, and they start to run around. agree with what Lebohang is saying.
Yeah.
You just give them a look, and they know what you are saying. Hence, Parayana used to say, Bontate babangwe baya magaza gantle babunolo. Do you remember it? So, violence can also be an attempt to protect yourself against personal injury. Personal injury is where you were humiliated. Can you imagine the whole location know that your wife is sleeping with this and this and this? That will injure you as a person. So now men start to use aggression to control this woman because he feels humiliated. And we get surprised when they kill them because these men are provoked by us women. That's the truth. Once the man knows that, the whole location knows that I'm not a man enough, I don't satisfy her, hence she goes outside, or she doesn't respect me. She can sleep with any man and still come back. You start to feel you are not worth in life. And your pride, your ego is wounded. And there is no way you are going to be violent. And we will count and say the rate of violence against women is so much. But the truth is, women also wrong men. There is no man who can take it. I'm not a man, but I'm speaking for the men. No man can take it. Another man was saying the wife bought herself the lingerings. And he says, I kept asking you, can you put these things for me? And the wife asked him, did you buy them for me? She's doing well. She's in tenders. She's swimming in millions. And the men cannot afford them. And then one day she went and said, I'm going out with my friends. She comes back. She tried to hide them in the basket down there. I don't know what he was looking for. He found the lingerings because now the nanny must wash them. And the man is saying, I asked you to put them for me. You refused. Then it means when you went out, there is a man who enjoyed to see you wearing them. So women can provoke men to that point. Now there is infidelity in the house. Unfaithfulness and cheating. Both men and women are capable of cheating. Cheating doesn't have color, it doesn't know race, it's happening anywhere. It doesn't know sex. Men and women can cheat. I heard the pastor who was saying prayerful men, they give women confidence. But Pastor, I want to say, maybe we should go back and check, is it true? From my viewpoint, powerful men of these days, if I borrow from the Bible, they're like the sons of Prophet Eli. The Bible says to Eli, God says, he sent Samuel, go and tell Eli to discipline his sons. Otherwise, I will act. It's not clear if it was only the biological sons or the spiritual sons. But what we know, they were raping women right on the pulpit. You watch the pastor's wife, and I always say, can they really show the truth? Those channels, most of them, they're not telling us the truth. They act. A lot is happening behind us. If the walls can talk, we will be shocked. So it's not about whether you are a Christian or you are not a Christian. Cheating, violence is there even in Christian homes. And pastor, it is a call to pastors that men need help. Men need meetings like this so that they can be empowered and be real prayerful men. So the incidence of cheating for both men and women is on the rise. But men and women perceive cheating differently. Both men and women cheat, but we don't see it the same. Because socially, it is acceptable for the men to cheat. In some cultures, it is acceptable for the men to have more than one wife. In some religion, it is acceptable, even in this era, to have more than one wife. But if a woman who is married sleeps with another man, she's not only cheating, but she is also considered less honorable. Because women have been oppressed even during the Bible time. Yes, it's true when our government says we should stand up for them, because as women we have been oppressed even in the Bible time. Even today we are oppressed. And the truth is that some men who are cheating or who are unfaithful are not really players, or they're not loving their wives. They're just imperfect. There are good men who went astray for a moment. It's not that we should write them off. They are cheaters, we call them names, we don't give them a second opportunity. And also what we saw happening, some of us, we are from families where they practice polygamy. One man was saying to me, when we wanted to understand how he grew up and why he's having multiple affairs. And he keeps saying to the wife, this is the last time, forgive me, I will never do it again. And this man said, I grew up seeing my uncles bringing different women. If you come, you will never come back, another woman will come. So that's what he knows about relationship. And in some South African culture, extra-sexual relationship is common, and it is an acceptable societal practice, isn't it? You are an ex, the neighbor can borrow you and go back tomorrow. However, the challenge is you go back with STIs. The challenge is you go back, but you left a child. And because you left a child, that child is a hair, whether you marry the mother or not. And unfortunately, for my younger sister, who is married to you, she's working hard for your children, for your illegitimate children. Isn't it the law? The children, the illegitimate children, they also benefit, isn't it? That's the challenge. If you are borrowed and you are not borrowed well, you start to leave kids out there. Now, the maintenance is after you. You can't afford life again. Hence, they spoke about higher rate of men in South Africa committing suicide. When I was young in my profession, I remember meeting a young man of my age. I was still 20-something, and this man had 12 kids. And he said he's blaming his mother because whenever they come to report that he impregnated the girl, the mother will chase that family out of my house. So that gave him the latitude to breed as many as he can. And now, maintenance was after him, and he was earning only 500. And he was saying, why should I go to work? He's a teacher who earn only 500. What do you do with 500? You can't even survive your own. So how do you marry somebody else if you are earning 500? So I'm saying, when we allow the culture to influence who we are, and we get children, more children out there, it's a problem not only for you, for your wife, for your children, your legitimate children. And unfortunately, in most cases, we women, we discover that when you are deceased. The first week, I'll be preparing funeral. And after funeral, now I want to go to the government what? GPF. And then now I find that, no, when I was preparing funeral, a line of women have already listed their names. They have kids with you. Some of you, of your brothers, they even exhume them because this woman now is in denial to say no. You mean all these children? Let's exhume this man and then we get the DNA. What a shame. Now, after they exhume you, the tests come back to say all of these children, they belong to your husband. They must share with your children. And the 50% that you gave her is not even going to take your kids to varsity. And men cheat not because they want sex. Sex is not the primary motivator in most cases. But men cheat because there is a problem in the relationship. Hence, we started by looking at the reasons why we shouldn't marry and what could be the right reasons to marry. Men cheat because subconsciously there is a need to temporarily make a sexual opportunity seem to be good pass up. What am I referring to here? If your wife doesn't appreciate you, doesn't adore you, doesn't make you feel you are needed, and you go out there, you are having lunch, here come this single woman who wants a relationship, and she make you feel you are needed. She adore you. You're looking handsome. You are smart. She asks for advices from you. I'm telling you, you are taken. That's what a man needs. She show you respect. The most important thing that a man needs is respect. I always tell my sisters that we don't need to go and buy things and put in men's food, and then say we're giving you follow me. No! Respect. You are done.
Hallelujah.
Appreciate him. So subconsciously, we all need that. Every man need to be adored, need to be appreciated. Men want to know that I am needed. Even where I know the answer, I will ask you, how do I do this? Then you feel, wow, she needs me. Without me, she can't survive. I can. I know how to catch you. And men, some men cheat when they feel trapped in a role they are not completely ready for. You want them to be something. I said women have a tendency or a belief that, a belief that they can, they have belief that they can change you. And once they put you in that role, that is not who you are. Once you feel trapped, a man is going to cheat. And women always say, my sisters at the back, you will agree with me. We always say, but how can he cheat with this cheap thing? She's not even my class. That's where he belongs. You married in the wrong family. He belongs there. When we don't respect men, we make them feel smaller and smaller. And that makes them to cheat. Because they need someone who acknowledges them. That cheap woman, illiterate woman, a woman, you can say a lot of things about that woman, where she stays, her class and everything. She made this man feel he's the head. And then, like you say, my brother, this woman never say no. I was still coming to that to say, men cheat when a woman use their conjugal rights to punish them. The moment you touch and every day they say, I'm tired. You know, they say it while they're still entering the door from work. They enter telling you, working tall, but they tell you, you know, I'm so tired. They're sending a message, don't touch me. And that will send the men outside. And when they feel unappreciated, like I said, they will cheat. Hence, you find a man having financial problem, but they pursue an affair out there. And then you ask yourself, women will be asking you, we have a financial problem, but you are taking money out there. You take the little you have because it's appreciated out there. Out there, they don't want the money. They want you. I said women don't want big gifts, but the bigger houses, if you afford it, yes, they want you. Are we learning?
Yes.
Go deeper.
And men can also cheat when a woman constantly bring him down. When a woman has take charge attitude, I'm in charge, I'm the driver, and doesn't allow you to be the driver, that can lead a man to cheat. So because the men feel disregarded, marginalized, downgraded. So the men will go out and get somebody who do the opposite. Men need a woman who somehow depends on them, even if she's well off. Even if she can afford life, but a woman must be wise enough to make you think she depends on you. That's what a man needs. So for both men and women, cheating creates a kind of buffer zone that make home life tolerable. So I can go out, I spoke about the exit, and then I come back. So I can tolerate you because when I come back, it's late. And then whether like a junior how or you are tired, I don't mind. I'm full, I had enough, I had my dinner, and you can keep it. Men cheat because of the interference of the in-laws.
Yeah.
When the in-laws are too much. When we allow them too much in our marriage, we create a problem. And black women these days, they are breaking free of the traditional roles, and they are embracing a newfound independence. that makes no apologies for seeking fulfillment outside their marriage. Black women are breaking free of traditional roles, and they are embracing a newfound independence that makes no apology for seeking fulfillment outside a marriage. Because we empower them more than men. Women are more educated these days. Women are the ones who are in the forefront. The tenders, they go to them. And now, when a woman gets disempowered and they are not empowered on how to balance in a marriage, it becomes a problem. So women also need to be empowered to say, you might be bringing a bigger check in the family, but you need this man. So how do you bring the balance? And some women are testing the limits in their relationship in search for something better, because men are not educated. I liked what the comedian did when he asked about how to bring peace. And I will encourage you, go into my YouTube and listen to, is it a honeymoon or a horror?
Yeah.
We don't educate our children. I wish they can allow us to join you in the mountain so that when they come down, they are real men. I wish, just like you allow the nurses, I wish we could come in the mountain and we teach our young men how to be real men. They go in honeymoon, they know nothing. They don't know how to prepare the chick. I'm telling you, even a chicken knows that. The hen knows that I have to chase the cock. Which one is that? The cock knows that it has to chase the hen. As they are running, that is sexual excitement,
Okay.
sexual arousal.
Okay.
Then when it climbs, the hen is ready for penetration. Our sons don't know how to prepare a woman. They don't know. We don't teach them. Hence I said, bring your sons in September. Let us train them. They just penetrate. And it's no longer a honeymoon to the lady. It's a horror.
Okay.
And they hate that bedroom life. We see them. And it pains us. A 20-something-year-old telling you, 20-something-year-old lady telling you, I cannot get out because I'm a Christian. I'm waiting the day he die or I die. And you are doing something. I don't like doing it because it reminds me of that. I will never go for a holiday in Cape Town because that is where it happened. So we need to train our sons. I challenge you men, as you take them to the mountain, do the right thing or call us. We'll come and train them.
Noted. Practical.
Not practical. That will be incest. We can't do that with our own children. And it will be the unspoken things. So those are the reasons we have cheating in our marriages and why women go out there. Because some women complain. This woman complained and say, this man, when I think we are about to start, he's already stretching himself. He's done. And I just hear other women talking about touching the roof. I hear that people make noise, but I've never seen that happening in our bedroom. And I'm 50 years or I'm so many years old. There are women who are like that. One woman was saying to me, I don't know how stupid is this husband of mine. Every time we finish, I go to the toilet. And he never asked himself why. Then I said, what is it that you do in the toilet? She said, no, I finished myself with my finger. Yeah. For 20-something years. And that will cause a woman to cheat. Because she will hear other women talking about the shouting and everything. And then now, she looks beautiful. You said when they go 50s, 40s, they become more beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then now they talk to her. You are not there. And she will say, but can I try and see if I'll also make noise?
Scream. Hallelujah.
So we need to know what to do in the bedroom. And when a woman feels mismatched, she will cheat. When she feels you are not the same class. Now she starts to go to attend workshops. At least COVID stopped that. But it's gone. We are going back to the workshop. She will go to the workshop, and the workshop is another man. Because you don't match. There's somebody who fulfill her. There's somebody who keep her in the marriage. Recently, I met a difficult one. This woman come and say, I'm here for bereavement therapy. Okay, so your husband died. And a married man, and I'm a married woman, he died. So I couldn't attend funeral because as Black, we believe that if you were in a relationship with a married person and that person died, you don't go to the funeral. So how do I get a closure? And then, but his mother knew about our relationship. After funeral, I got a chance to go and see where they buried him. And now, I foresee that my marriage now is going to die because this deceased boyfriend is the one who kept our marriage. If he wasn't in my life for 15 years, we would have long divorced. Pardon? So because the husband doesn't know what to do, but there's a man who do the work for him for 15 years. Now the man is deceased and she's saying, with this one, we are going to divorce. However, when women cheat, they tend to weigh the consequences more carefully.
So what was the advice to you?
We'll come to that when we come to the question. You can put it down, my brother. I will answer it. Yes. So when women are cheating, they tend to be more careful of the consequences. You brothers, you go deeper. You just go deep, you will deal with the consequences. For example, let me give you a simple thing to show that you go deeper. Why do you keep the messages and you know you are cheating? You see, you don't think about the consequences until they read the messages. I'm not saying do it, please. And when a man cheats, women think you cheat because it's a reflection of who they are. So women tend to judge themselves harsh if their spouse are cheating. They feel small, they think there's something that they don't do right. And they also feel rejected. And that perceived disregard is what makes the cheating behavior so devastating and hard to forgive. Men always come and say, but every day we talk about something that happened 10 years ago. If she gets angry, every day we go back to the cheating when we were still at varsity, a week before we got married, 4 years after the marriage, and 2 days after the birth of our first child. Why are we not done with this? When you cheat and your wife discovers it, to her, there is something wrong about her. To her, it means now you are abandoning her, you are rejecting her. And that is so devastating. Hence, it's so difficult for women to forgive. So the moment they feel abandoned is a problem. And when she feels wronged, she starts to feel lonely within the marriage. Because she feels you are rejecting her, you are abandoning her. So she starts to feel alone. And when she starts to feel alone, there is no trust. And trust, to win it, is a serious work. And women are conditioned from birth to think that it is their role to make their relationship work. We're talking about how men and women differently perceive cheating. So we women, we think it is our role to make relationship work. It's not the role of a woman alone. It's our role, both of us. And I'm going to ask that after this, after looking at different profile of cheater, you give me a chance to drink water. Okay? No. And then after that, we will finish. And then after that, we will eat, and then we come to the questions. Okay? So there are different profile of cheater. Some people, either men or women, they cheat because of they are misguided romantic. What we learn, you said it, Coach Mo, that when we don't teach our children, they will learn from the street. So what they tell us, some of the things are not supposed to happen in a romantic relationship. So because nobody gives us the right information, we are misguided. Then we run our relationship based on that, and we create problems. And some people, they cheat because they are searching for cosmic perfection. You will never have a perfect partner, but you can turn your partner to be the perfect one for you. So marriage is about, or an intimate relationship is about working. And we work the rest of our lives. The problem is once we are married, we get relaxed. And in one of the teaching about sex, I say, when we go for driving, learning to drive, we follow all the rules. They tell you, you don't enter the car and just start and go. Start it, let it be warm. We do that. And then after that, check the tires, check water, do this and this. Okay, these days the cars tell us if there's water, there's oil. But you need to check the tires and everything. We do that when we come from driving school. Then when we think we know it, we no longer do that. Even in marriage, we know what we're supposed to do. Then we get used to each other. We no longer do it. Even in bedroom, we know how to prepare each other. Now we are used to each other. And now it's a problem.
Say 53.
Okay. Some people cheat when they realize that their spouse is not the perfect dream. You married her because of her looks. When she gives you children, she's going to change. And she's not the type that can visit Coach Mo. And then they do the push-ups and the burpees and No, she's not into that. And now she's looking somehow, you feel, let me go for another one. Some cheat because they are vengeful fighters. They are very angry. They are hating, and now they want to hurt you back. Some they cheat because they are intimacy phobia. So they maintain distance. They don't want someone who is clingy to them. They want a relationship when it was like you are getting closer, they drop you, they get another one just like that. And some, they are Casanova. They go for the pleasure. They don't care. So they feel they are there to conquer women, or they are there to conquer men. So we are going to take 2 minutes so that I take a break, and they are going to play a song, and the Beatitude will show us who they are.
The weakest. I get a doctor only Ohobela Utabotabi. So now go Agaya go me, Mikobela Atla Tushi. Agaya to the mountain. So I'll do my house, doctor will help me with those resourcement. Honorable resourced. Gihono Betamugunye. Yes, K53. And then you know, I got to really
No.
So you know, I got everybody. So Dr. Lebuwa, the whole before the hard one tapai. Before Tatamaya, the only question again. Readijo again. Readijo. While leadership level of Adile Gamukola, Lily guest just speakers. Banoshala Maraunia na Klabocha Majamugai, the Hopala Roja. Only 30 minutes. Karajari Hanne. We hardly want the Mo and Birijali. We only take 30 minutes every week. So, and then Doctor, Asubulata climax.
I'm coming.
Let's wait.
I'm coming.
So, we are there, guys. Ari Roja. Yes, Ari Roja. 30 minutes back.
Just a quick one, guys. Very late. Relevant is an and then if you want to do a test drive, Black Hawk and Tuna Marasne, you want to do a test drive, you can go there and then what the question way. What the question and this is Man's Conference brought to you by Coach Mo. Shabatagati, I'm a pig about. My name is Steve. They're coming in on the ones and twos. Conference of Anna, I'm in South Africa. It's a Malva Sadikamar. Guru to one or you